Hello everyone and welcome to today's class where we are going to learn how to do some nice little wavy legs. So this sort of technique of dance can be quite difficult to start with, and it's often put in a lot of choreo classes and you could spend a whole hour on it. So we're going to break it down right now. What we're going to do is we're going to come down onto the ground. I'm going to start facing you, but what we're going to do to begin with is practice moving our hips side to side. So we're going to start in a straddle, and you're just going to start trying to bring your sit bones up off the ground to get a little bit of movement in your hips. Now you would have already done a warm up before this to make sure your body is nice and warm. If you haven't, it's not completely necessary for this class, but it will help you to be able to move around a little bit easier. So now that we've done this side to side, I'm just going to show you from side on. I want you to try and go forward and back. So we want to sit up nice and straight, and we want to try and move our hips forwards and then rock our hips back. Thinking about your stomach, so sucking your belly button in and then pushing your belly button out. Sucking it in, pushing it out. Going to do a couple of these to get the hips moving. Good, and if you feel like you can't quite do this yet, you can try and put a little bit more shoulders into it to start with. Yeah. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add them together. So we're going to move our hips around and do little circles, trying to think about lifting your sit bone, coming forwards, other side, coming back. Yeah, and we want to try and create a nice little circle, because when we do our wavy legs, it's not just with our legs, you are using your hips quite a lot. So let's go the other way, making sure that you're really focusing on those hips. And if you want, you can come down a little bit lower, and it'll also warm up your hamstrings as well. Don't forget to keep breathing. Nice. Good. So what we're going to do to start with is just try and learn our basic in and out. So I'm going to come facing back so that you can see what I'm doing. The easiest way is to just lie down on the ground as much as you can, or move nice and far away so you can see me, and bringing our legs up. So what we're going to start doing is another drill, is just trying to keep our feet together and turn our knees side to side. Yeah? This is that hip movement action that you need to make these wavy legs look really, really effective. Good. So, and feel free to pause this at any time so that you can practice this. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn to one side, and then we're going to bring our legs down to our butt, and then we're going to turn to the other side and bring them up. Yeah, twist, down, twist, up. Always really good to try and film this as well to make sure that you can see where your legs are going, because you might feel like you're twisting, but it might just look like you're coming up and down. Yeah? Also using a little bit of your obliques, so when I'm turning to this side, I'm also crunching in on my left side, so that when I come down, I'm trying to show the whole side of my leg and my heels, and then I turn the other way and try and show the other side of my leg and heels. Yeah, you can have your hands out here, cross your body, over your head, whatever feels comfortable as we do a couple of these. Yeah, it also helps to have a shirt on so you can slide around on the ground. Now try and reverse it the other way as we're coming around. Good. All right. From here, we're going to start to transition to single leg. So we're going to bring one leg in front of the other one just slightly, and we're going to do the same thing we just did, but with one leg only. So I'm turning my right knee out, and I'm bringing it down, and then turning it to the side and bringing it up. So you can practice by just doing that one and keeping the other one in the air for now. What you want to eventually do is add the other one in, but we want to create a little bit of a cannon here with our legs. So as I go around, I'm going down, And then as this starts to come around, this leg goes down, and I'm trying to open my legs up as much as possible, and the other way. So this is a little bit harder, especially if you don't have great internal rotation. Some people can open their legs right out and keeping their knees together. It would be pretty much if you were sitting like this, having that position, which for some people they find that really difficult. For me, it's a little bit tight as well, yeah? So back to the ground. From here, we're going one down, the other down, one up, the other up, yeah? And then you can reverse it. Making sure that the knees stay together and that you're turning your hips so that you can see the side of the leg, yeah? So often we just sort of go back and forward. From here, what we're gonna learn is we're gonna learn bringing the knees away from each other. So everything we've just done is knees together. And what we're gonna do now, instead of turning that leg out, we're actually gonna try and turn our legs in. So again, if you're not naturally inclined for internal rotation, that's okay. You can still make it look good by moving the hips. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn my right leg in, and then I'm gonna bring my right foot to my butt. And then as I'm bringing it in, I'm gonna open the knee out, and then open it out, okay? And then to come back, trying to open until my foot comes towards my knee, and then I close, and then up, yeah? And so then you could do the other side, boom, 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 boom. And it makes it look less effective if you break in the knees. So if you're going here, and then out, yeah, it looks less effective. You want to try and keep those knees together to start with, and then peel out, in, up. So now we're going to try and do this with both legs. So both knees are going to turn in, we're going to come in, and then out. Then to come back, heels come together, knees come together, and then we're going to try and rotate our legs up as much as possible. So remember, opening out wide. So going in, out, in, up, in, out, in, up. Good. So your legs are probably feeling a little sore now. We're going to try and take it up into a bit of a candlestick position and try again. You've got a little bit more movement with the hips in this position, so you might find it a little bit easier. So you can try your first one like that, keeping the legs glued. With this one, all you want to make sure you do is try not to bring your legs too far over your head, because then the camera can't see the good angle when you're doing it like that. So keep it up in the sky. So around, up, back the other way, and then what we can do is our out, and you can hit the ground, coming back and out and up and out. So this is where we can add that heel clack in. Most times in choreo, you might find that the teacher does like one of these and goes clack and then out. This is the noise where the heels are hitting, where your toes are together and the knees are apart, yeah? So that's how you do that one, going in and out. Feel free to pause it and give it a go just on its own. You can add that into anything really, like you can just do a little bit of floor work and you can add them wherever. I'm going to show you a couple other variations where you can do that. So for this one, I'm going to face you. And we're going to do it from more of a sitting up position, like a fan roll. So we're going to start out to the side here, and you're going to do very similar. We're going to keep our knees together and bring our heel to our butt. And then you're going to open this knee, heel comes towards your knee, and then up. So boom, down, boom, up, yeah? You can, if you throw yourself too much, you might go over to the other side, which is okay. And then you could do the other side, around, making sure that you're turning your hips. So the easiest way to do this is if I start facing the back a little bit more, makes it easier for my legs to come up and then out. And then when I come back in, I'm going to twist so that my leg can come really high in the air and around. Looks a little bit more effective than if I'm just sitting facing this way. My heel can only come parallel to the ground. So as much as I'm trying to lift that up, it's really hard to. Whereas if I'm turned a little bit more, so my hips facing the ground, that leg can come up and then out and then back on. Yeah? So that's your second type of wavy leg, doing it sitting up. Yeah? And then obviously on the other side, remember to film yourself doing this. Try and think about adding it into a little bit of a combo. Anywhere where you're on the ground with your legs together, any position, you can try and do a wavy leg. And people are creating more and more, you know, different variations of it really. So have a little bit of experiment around with it. This is for the floor one. And then next we're going to jump up on the pole and I'm going to show you how you can actually incorporate some of this stuff on the pole. Thank you guys for joining us today. I can't wait to see everyone's progress on this trick. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.